and welcome to healthyhouseplants.com, where we teach you all about gardening in the great indoors. If you'd like to support our show, please use our Amazon affiliate link below. Today we're checking back in with a revival here, the Corkscrew Hoya. Hoya carnosa compacta is the botanical name. And this is a really cool plant that has corkscrew-like foliage, so you can see up at the top here. As I mentioned, this was a revival, so this plant was in pretty bad shape before. It's getting a lot more green in, which is great. It's not going to green up all of the old leaves, but it is getting new foliage, and some of the older foliage has greened up some as well. You can see how pretty this plant is. It's made for hanging baskets, or grows nicely that way, or from up on high. And it does have this very corkscrew-like foliage on it. As I mentioned, there is quite a bit of new green growth on it here and there. There's some more on this part here, back here as well. One thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to check and see if this foliage, if this vine branching here is alive or dead. So if it's dead, I'm going to get rid of it. If it's alive, I'm going to keep it on here and see if I get some more foliage on it, although I probably will snip it back some to stimulate some foliage growth. However, the way to do this to see if a trunk of a plant is alive is to use something sharp like a knife or pruners, good pruners, and you want to run them along the side a little bit of that piece that you're wondering about. And then what happens is you want to check and see if it looks alive, it will be green. If it's dead, it's going to be brown in there. And so far, it's looking pretty brown, which tells me that that part has died. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go backwards to see at what point it died. I'm going to check here. Still dead. Here. Still dead. So I'm not getting any green. So that tells me, nope, nope. There is a tad bit green right there. So I'm going to cut right above the node here, the stem node here, which has growth hormones in it. And that will cause the growth on the stem below that and above that to get some new foliage growing. So I'm going to cut right above that. I want to cut right above that. I don't want to leave any stem that doesn't have a node at the end of it just sticking out there, because what'll happen is that stem will just fall off and then the growth will start from that point, but you're going to lose who knows how long waiting for that to happen. You're much better off just cutting it off at that point and getting things going by stimulating with the growth hormone. So I will likely get more growth along this part here, and I got rid of what was already dead and of no use here and not looking too good either. So looking around here too, this is a new one of these stems that will eventually get foliage on it. So you can tell it's nice and bendable. That's another thing. When the branching, the trunk, well, you don't want to bend a trunk too much, but when the branching is very bendable and pliable, that tells you it's alive. So this is a whole new one that's coming out of this green here. And so this is going to be a whole new branch that's going to be filled with really nice, pretty green foliage that is nice and healthy. Eventually what I'll do is I will, as new growth comes in, I will cut out more of the old growth, especially the pieces like this that don't look too good. They're more yellowy. So we'll do that as we go, but like to do that gradually because first of all, the plant is fuller this way, but it has more leaves to photosynthesize more than to grow more. So that's why I do that. And when I did, if you watch the prior video, when I did that, I did remove, when I was reviving it, and this was a repotting that was done, I did cut out a lot of growth at that point too. And when I did pot this up, I did use some of my Green Gourmet houseplant food, so link below for that too. So you can see that it's doing well. It has taken some time, as I mentioned in the prior video, and when you do any revivals, you do have to have some patience. The plants, if they've been neglected, and even if they've gotten very sickly and haven't been watered right or whatever the problem is, it takes them a while to spring back. Even when you repot and you do what you do, it's still going to take some time. So with time, this plant will eventually have some beautiful flowers on it, as well as really cool foliage that will be a nice deep bright green at that point. And I love the corkscrewy look to it. It is such a different sort of a look in a plant, especially the Hoyas. Thank you for stopping by today. Please leave any comments about any indoor gardening tutorials you'd like to see. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. And please check the bell if you'd like to be notified when new videos are released.